Hey guys, Alex here. I haven't done a video blog in like forever, and I haven't done anything on my travel channel in like forever either. So I'm gonna do a little random video, just like a video log. I'm gonna talk mainly about my my top 10 favorite science fiction movies, just because I have nothing else to talk about right now. But yeah, I do plan on making more adventure videos. I just need to have time to go out and film something. And more movie reviews, more questions and answer videos, and more more random stuff. But yeah, so what's going on with me? Well, recently, let's see. A few weeks ago, I was kind of sick. I had this cough. I'm still coughing a little bit, but not much. I'm not sure where I got it from. I'm theorizing it either came from my allergies. Like I remember I was running one day and this piece of, I don't know, pollen might have like fallen on my power bar, and I might have eaten it. Maybe I don't know what the deal is, or I might have got from swimming, because I was feeling really bad on the last day that I was swimming, so it might have been from that too. But yeah, I'm feeling better. I can run again, so that's good. What am I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, let's talk about my favorite science fiction movies. The reason why I talk about my favorite science fiction movies is because I saw those movies recently. And so I guess I'm on a sci-fi kick right now. And so I just want to say right now, Star Wars is not in my top 10. I mean, I love the Star Wars franchise, but it's not my favorite science fiction movies. I'll tell you what my favorite science fiction movies are. Let's start with Dune. This is actually the extended edition. It's a DVD. And I don't know what it is about this movie. It's old. I guess the special effects, they're really trippy, very surreal, and it takes place on this desert. And in the future, the all these powers are competing to harvest this this mineral called spice, because he who controls the spice, they control the like space travel and all the trade, and that means power. But there's a lot more to this movie than that. There's also a spiritual aspect. And there's some really cool appearances. There's one by Sting. Who else is in there? Patrick Stewart, Max von Sydow. It doesn't have who the stars are on this box, but yeah, it's got Sting in it. That's pretty cool. And that's one of my top 10. I'm not gonna put this in order. I'm just gonna say my top 10. So Dune is one of them. I love this movie, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you like weird science fiction movies. In fact, throughout the movie, they're whispering about the secrets of the spice. It's pretty cool. I also liked, moving on with my top 10, I love The Time Machine. This is based on an H.G. Wells book. It's about this guy who time travels, and he sees the Earth's future, and he keeps going so far into the future that eventually he sees just what happens to mankind. Like they lose their ways, they forget how to fight for themselves. This is the what year is this made in? 1960, I think. The 1960 version. I know they made a remake starring Guy Pearce. I didn't like that remake so much. It was kind of bland. It had all these great special effects and great sets, but I think there wasn't really a message in that movie. There was a message that you can't change the future, but if you watch A Time Machine, there's a lot more to that message than just changing the outcome of the future. Definitely check out The Time Machine, the 1960s version. It doesn't have the special effects as the remake from 2000 something, but it's got a lot of heart. It's got a great story to it. It's got a message, a really nice message. And there's something charming about special effects from the 60s, 50s, and 70s. I don't know what it is about special effects, but it just takes me back. I wasn't alive back then, but it really takes me back to the days when I was a kid watching these science fiction movies on TV. So that's another one of my favorite science fiction movies, The Time Machine. Oh, this is Walt Disney World's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is based on a Jules Verne movie. It's set during the Civil War, basically, and they're trying to find this this so-called beast that is like stalking and destroying ships at sea. But they eventually find out it's actually a submarine. this submarine that he wrote about is very advanced. But you know, I'm sidetracking myself. The movie's awesome. Special effects are awesome. This is the best version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that I've seen. There's been a lot of like made-for-TV movies about the story, but I think Walt Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is the absolute best. I love when they meet Captain Nemo. I love his ship, the Nautilus. One of my prerequisites of loving a science fiction movie is that they take you away from, you know, from this reality, and they transport you to a whole new reality. And in this movie, that new reality is the Nautilus. You know, I would just love a TV show that was just set on the Nautilus, and they just explore, you know, the ocean. I would just love that. It's got Kirk Douglas in it. Is it Kirk Douglas or Michael Douglas? Yeah, Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas is the dad of Michael Douglas, and it also has who was it? James Mason. Very big actor. Very big actors, but that's one of my other favorites. My top 10. Fahrenheit 451. This was based on a Ray Bradbury book, and it's basically about the future where books are pretty much banned. Is that the story? Hold on. Yeah, books are banned, and so the firemen, they don't put out fires, they actually start fires, and they burn books. And this was made in, I don't know when this was made in, but it's probably a 60s or 70s or, I don't know. But it's got that old charm to it. Not a whole lot of special effects, but the message in this movie is great. Like, a lot of movies today, they don't have messages, but movies back then, like Fahrenheit 451 and Time Machine, they had messages, and they had great stories to it. So I think movies like this, they're sorely lacking today. But I just heard somewhere that they're actually making a remake of Fahrenheit 451. So I look forward to that. I'm pretty sure they're going to botch it up, but I will still watch it. But this is a great movie. That's all I'm going to say about that. I love this movie. I could watch this, like, every day. Another one of my favorites, ooh, I haven't opened this yet, Logan's Run. What year was this made in? Probably the 70s. Yeah, 76, I believe. Who's in it? It's got Peter Ustinov, and that's the only name I recognize. But yeah, this is a great movie. Very dated special effects, like really dated. But as I said, I love the special effects of the 70s and 60s and 50s. There's just a charm to it. What is this movie about? It's about, basically, in the future, I guess you can call it a utopia. You don't see people over the age of 30, I think, or I'm not sure what the age is, but at a certain age, what is it called? I think it's Carousel. Yeah, it's when you turn 30, you join Carousel. People don't know what Carousel is, but basically, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But what to say that if I was alive in this time period, I'd be dead soon, because yeah, I'll stop there. Logan's Run, check it out, guys. Very good movie. There's actually a famous line, well, not a famous line, but whenever you hear people say, "Run, runner, run," or "Run, you runner," that comes from Logan's Run. And basically the movie is about the title. There's this guy on the run. He's actually part of the police force, but eventually he's on the run when he discovers what's really going on. This movie, oh, this is not the right movie. This is Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Actually, this is not one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is Planet of the Apes. This is the wrong one. I don't have Planet of the Apes around me. I think my friend borrowed it. But yeah, I love Planet of the Apes. It's another great movie of the past, and that's, I believe, I think it's the 60s. It's got, you know, that old 60s appeal to it. Strong story, because back then story was crucial, and strong message. Like, I don't know what it is, like, you have movies like Time Machine, Fahrenheit 451, and Planet of the Apes, and they just have really strong messages to them. Like, I saw the reimagining by Tim Burton that was starring Mark Wahlberg. I guess you can call it a remake of Planet of the Apes. It was horrendous. No story. I mean, there's a story to it, but there's no message to it. You have the humans talking, and the apes, they don't think anything of it. Like, in the in the original, humans were not talking because they were stupid. Because basically humans in the old Planet of the Apes, they were the apes. They couldn't talk. They had no higher development of their brains. So the apes were basically the humans, and the humans were the apes. And that was the message. So when Charlton Heston came along and he started talking, the apes were like, "Whoa, this human can actually talk." But yeah, the one starring Charlton Heston was awesome. The one starring Mark Wahlberg was bland. It was bad. I didn't actually watch the midnight show of that movie, and I hated it. And I hated the fact that I paid for that movie. It was so boring. Another one of my favorites. This could be considered a comedy, actually, but it's called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This was starring Zoe Deschanel. She's pretty cute. Mos Def, Sam Rockwell, Alan Rickman's in it. He's the voice of the little robot. Helen Mirren's in it. I didn't know that. Stephen Fry and John Malkovich. A lot of big names in that movie. I never watched the old British TV show, and I never read the book called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But this movie was really well made. Great everything, great special effects, great story, great acting. It really takes you away from this reality, and it transports you to this reality that they want you to believe exists. And it's weird. I love weird movies because, you know, it's not the normal. It's just cool, I guess. I can't really explain this movie. Basically, the message is don't leave without your towel, and you'll see why. And it's a really it's an interesting movie. One of my favorites. Like, if you pop this into the DVD, I'd just sit there and watch it. Yeah, that's one of my prerequisites for my top 10 movies, is that if the movie's on TV or DVD, I can sit there and watch it. I wouldn't get bored by it. I just watch it, like, all day long. Alright, this is the classic. It's dusty. It's Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. This is based on Arthur C. Clarke's book by the same name. This movie is a masterpiece. I watched it when I was a kid. I had no idea what I was watching, because it opens with these apes bashing the heck out of something, and just like a giant baby by the earth. And yeah, when I was a kid, when I watched this, I was like, what the heck am I watching? I didn't know what I was watching, but I loved it. Now that I've seen it today, I recognize what it is. It's all, like, it's artsy. It makes you think. It's a great movie. And what year was this made in? The 68, I believe. I'm reading the year on this. I'm not sure if this is when it was made, but 1968 is the year it says. This is considered one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time, and I can see why. Check it out. It's really weird. It's weird. As I said, I like weird science fiction movies like this, like Dune. So maybe the fact that it's weird is why I like it, or maybe the fact that it's well made and artsy and makes you think, maybe that's why I like it. There's so many reasons to like this movie. If you're a film buff, you would like this movie because it's so well made. You don't need to be a science fiction fan to like this kind of movie. Stanley Kubrick, guys. He's done a lot of great stuff like Clockwork Orange and some other stuff. I don't know. I can't think. Alright. Another one of my favorites, Minority Report. Now, all my friends who have seen this movie, they hated this movie. I don't know why. I actually thought this movie was excellent. It's a Steven Spielberg movie, starring Tom Cruise. Basically, it's about these policemen of the future, and they can actually see, like, when a crime's going to be detected, and basically, if they see, like, a murder happening in the future, they can arrest the person before that crime is actually committed. So there's actually a moral dilemma. Like, is it really a crime if it hasn't been committed? And message of this movie is, if you know what's going to happen, you can actually change the course of history. So is it really a crime? It's just a great movie. Special effects are awesome. It's Steven Spielberg. Like, I've never been disappointed by a Steven Spielberg movie. It's got Colin Farrell in it, Max von Sydow, and Tom Cruise. Great movie. I highly recommend this movie. Excuse me. Alright, last of my top 10. Jurassic Park. And I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about Westworld. This is another Steven Spielberg movie, but it's based on Michael Crichton's novel, or it's science fiction novel, Jurassic Park. And if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely check it out, especially if you love dinosaurs. It's basically about, you know, they figured out how to clone, you know, dinosaurs using like DNA from, like, I forgot what they call it, but yeah, they can recreate dinosaurs, and they wanted to make this a theme park where rich people can visit this island called Jurassic Park, and they can actually see live dinosaurs. And you can only imagine what kind of problems might occur with something like that. Yeah, it's Steven Spielberg. Check it out. This is one of my favorite movies, like, of all time. Not just science fiction, but any genre. And this stars, who is it? Samuel Jackson. Who else? I'm trying to look for names that I recognize. Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and those are the only names I recognize. But yeah, this is my top 10 favorite science fiction movies. I know you might be disappointed that I didn't add Star Wars to it, but I like Star Wars. I just don't think any of those movies are my top 10 favorite science fiction movies. So let me reverse this on you guys. What are your favorite science fiction movies? You can write your top 10, or you can write your top 5. You can make your top 50 if you want. Well, actually, don't do that because it won't fit in my comments, but list your favorite science fiction movies. Tell me why you like them. Tell me if you agree with my list. And that's really about it. I'll be making more video logs, adventure videos, question and answers, and other kinds of videos for this channel. But that's about it. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see you guys later.